Today we're going to dive into a mystery that didn't start in some fancy research lab or a corporate boardroom. Nope, this one started in a beauty forum. A single conversation there sparked this whole thing, revealing this massive shift in how we think about value, status, and, well, what's actually worth our money. And the answer, it turns out, is buried deep in our evolutionary past. This right here, this is the comment that started it all. Someone in a community of serious makeup lovers just declared that luxury for them is basically over. I mean, just think about that for a second. For decades, right? Brands like Chanel and Dior were the absolute pinnacle of aspiration. And now, a whole bunch of people just find them uninteresting. So, what on earth happened? To figure this out, we're going to go on a bit of a journey. We'll start with the evidence. Is luxury's allure really fading? Then we're going to go deep into our own psychology, into how our ancient brains are making these super modern choices. We'll unpack the new rules of status, the neuroscience of shopping, and this kind of built-in scam detector that we all have. And then finally, we'll reveal what the new symbols of luxury, the peacock's new feathers, really are. So first up, let's just get a handle on what's actually happening. We're seeing this really clear, really powerful shift away from the classic big name brands that used to dominate everyone's wish list. The game is totally changing. It's not about aspiration anymore, it's about investigation. And look, this isn't just a theory. You can see it right here in what people are actually saying. These are real comments. People are more excited to read about an indie brand than about Chanel. They're finding that budget products are straight up outperforming the icons. It's the feeling, the performance. That's what's winning, not the price tag. And there's this growing feeling that a lot of the legacy brands are just coasting, just riding on their name instead of innovating. This chart really sums up the whole shift perfectly. Just think back a decade ago. It was all about aspiration. Owning that luxury item was a clear signal of status, and we all kind of assumed that a high price meant high quality. But today, the priorities have completely flipped. We value innovation, we value performance above all else. And this last one is crucial. Status isn't about what you own anymore, it's about what you know. Okay, so we know what's happening, but to really understand why, we have to look way past marketing trends. We have to go much, much deeper, right into the wiring of the human brain itself, the brain that was shaped over millions of years. And this brings us to this amazing concept from evolutionary psychology called mismatch theory. It's a really simple but incredibly profound idea. The brain we have right now, the one in your head, was not built for the world we live in. It was built for a world of scarce resources, constant physical threats, and tiny little social groups. Here's a great way to think about it. It's like we're all running ancient Stone Age software on brand new hardware. Our brains haven't had a major update in thousands and thousands of years. But our world, our culture, our technology, the global market is changing at lightning speed. We're trying to navigate this online world of endless brands and infinite choice using a mental toolkit designed for the savannah. And this mismatch, it explains almost everything about why we buy what we buy. So this mismatch has a huge impact on one of our most powerful ancient drives, the quest for status. That drive, believe me, has not gone away, but the way we satisfy it is changing, and fast. It's no longer just about what you can afford to buy, it's about what you're smart enough to discover. Now, to understand status, we have to talk about Darwin's other great idea, sexual selection. This is the theory that explains all the stuff in nature that makes no sense for just pure survival. I mean, look at the peacock's tail. It's basically a giant, heavy, brightly colored, hey predators, come eat me sign. It makes it hard to escape. So why would you have it? Because it's an incredible, undeniable signal of health and genetic fitness to other peacocks. This whole idea is called costly signaling, and the logic is actually pretty simple. For a signal to be believable, it has to be difficult or expensive to fake. A weak, sickly peacock literally can't grow a magnificent tail. So the tail becomes an honest signal of quality, and that honest signal brings status, which in turn leads to better opportunities. For a long, long time, a Chanel bag worked the exact same way. Its cost was an honest signal of resources. But this leads us right back to our central mystery. What happens to that signal when the community, the group that matters, decides it's not impressive anymore? What happens when that so-called luxury item is seen as kind of lazy, overpriced, with a formula that hasn't changed in years? Well, the signal breaks. The peacock's tail starts to look, well, just like a bunch of silly feathers. And the plot thickens when we start to look at the actual brain chemistry behind all this. Our decisions about what to buy aren't just logical. They are driven by this powerful reward system in our brains that has its own very ancient priorities. This user from the forum absolutely nails it. She's saying the pleasure, that little dopamine hit you get from a cheap but exciting new find, can be just as strong, maybe even stronger than buying something expensive. Her brain's reward circuit doesn't care about the price tag, it cares about the feeling of novelty and discovery. And yep, here's mismatch theory again. Our brains evolved to give us this jolt of pleasure when we found something rare and valuable out in the wild, like a hidden patch of ripe berries or a new tool. In today's world, that exact same brain circuit gets lit up by the thrill of discovery. Finding a new, amazing, under-the-radar indie brand gives us a much bigger novelty hit than buying the same predictable Chanel lipstick for the 10th time. Old luxury is predictable. New discoveries are a dopamine rush. Okay, so there's one more piece of ancient software running in our heads that's at play here, and it is a powerful one. We have a highly specialized cognitive program designed for one specific thing, managing social exchanges and, most importantly, detecting cheaters. Research has shown that our brains, well, they aren't naturally great at abstract logic puzzles. But if you frame a problem as a social contract, we suddenly become geniuses. We instinctively understand a rule like this one. If you want the benefit, you have to pay the cost. It's a fundamental rule of fairness that's hardwired into us. So when we need to check if a rule like this is being followed, our brains don't waste time. They instinctively zoom right in on the potential cheater, the person who took the good stuff but might not have paid the price. It is a built-in program for auditing fairness, and we are all experts at it without even realizing it. And here's the crucial point. We apply this ancient cheater detection logic to modern brands. When we see a luxury product with an old formula and a sky-high price, our brain isn't just evaluating the color, it's asking a much deeper question. Is this brand holding up its end of the bargain by delivering amazing quality, or is it cheating me, just riding on its name and marketing? So let's put it all together. We've got our ancient brains, which are mismatched with the modern world. They're seeking new dopamine hits from novelty, and our built-in scam detectors are rejecting signals that feel, well, dishonest. And all of this leads us to the answer. The very definition of a status symbol is changing right before our eyes. The old, easy-to-buy signal, that famous logo, is losing its power because it's just not seen as an honest indicator of quality anymore. The new peacock feathers are way more complex. They're signals that are much harder to fake precisely because they can't just be bought off a shelf. They have to be earned. So, what are these new signals of status? Well, it's niche knowledge, the ability to find a superior product that nobody else knows about yet. It's technical skill, knowing how to shoot a beautiful product photo that looks professional. It's community clout, earning the genuine trust and respect of your peers. And it's authenticity, sharing a real personal journey that connects with people. You can't buy any of these things. These are the new costly signals of our time. And that brings us to a final thought. We think we're just buying a lipstick or a handbag, but our Stone Age brain is constantly playing a much, much deeper game. It's signaling status, it's seeking rewards, and it's always on the lookout for cheaters. So the next time you add something to your cart, it's worth asking yourself, in this new world, what signal am I actually sending?